Good morning, I'm Conk, and this build right here saved it for me. For whatever reason, I tried a bunch of different builds, cast one damage stunned, all these other things. Nothing really felt quite good to me, but this build right here, using Blood Sacrament, has felt amazing. It's been a lot of fun. We're currently level 91, have something like 41 deaths. So not too bad for someone like me, right? I don't have greatest of gear. I have stuff that kind of makes the build work. As you can see, I only have 17,000 life. So what is this Blood Sacrament? This skill allows you to reserve your life pool in order to do more damage. The more life you reserve, the more critical strike chance you get for it, the more spell damage you get for it, and also the more radius you get for it, right? So right now, if we just do it, you see this big old explosion. We get more life. That'll actually be even larger. But I mean, it's already almost, it's, what, close to 3/4 of the screen, something like that. So this skill is, it's so much fun. It's actually so much fun. But you notice we go down to like 2,000 life. So in reality, it can be squishy if you don't have the right gear. But let's talk about the gear. Nothing here is really min-maxed. Still working on everything. But the main weapon, the thing that gives you Blood Sacrament, because it's not a gem, it is this Relic of the Pact, a Sage Wand. Grants level 1 Blood Sacrament, which obviously we need, but since this is not a gem, in order to get the links, as you can see, the blue T, the green, all this, you socket something into your wand, right? Now the reason why we actually do this, though, is because if you notice how long it takes, you have to charge it up. So what you do, you're adding in life tap, it charges quicker. We add in second wind. Now it's a lot quicker, right? But it can be even quicker to be frame perfect. Adding the second wind gives us 2 charges, which is why with the cooldown, you can actually just basically be spamming it, hold it down. But we use critical chance or critical damage just to bump up that damage, like we said. Increase crit chance on this shield, Wrath Pith, gives you more strict critical strike chance for the amount of life you have, right? Now we pair it here with Entropic Devastation. Inflicting Pale with crits, we're almost always critting. We will be critting more if we get more life, right? This is, like I said, this is kind of bare bones of it. We get into a helmet here, just resistances, life, nothing crazy. This isn't a really good helmet. It's good enough because it helps me with my resistances, but it's really kind of a nothing one. Let's talk about Untouched Soul. This one is huge. If you notice, plus 40 to maximum life for each empty red socket on the gems. So that's why you see multiple red empty sockets, right? If we take this off, we have, look at that, 17,000 life. Brings us down to 14,800. So just a couple grand of life just by itself. Pretty huge. I haven't catalysted up. Catalysts are pretty expensive. I'm trying to save for a bunch of other things, right? Combs Heart, 1,000 life. I mean, that's what, 5,000, almost 5,000 life with all your increased life. It's pretty useful, right? Essence Worm is the other mandatory thing, giving us 80% reduced reservation efficiency of skills. If we take this off, see how long it takes to charge up? This 80% reduced reservation of efficiency of skills means that since this is reserving life, this will reserve more life for each like tick of it, right? So when we put that back on, back to frame perfect. I have Petrified Blood in here. That's just so that I'm a little bit more survivable, because you will die with this. It's just, it kind of is what it is. But if you have more life, you want more damage, you can use Pride, more physical damage. This is a physical skill. So pretty much what you want, right? Then we got, I'm using the Tides of Time. Now this belt is not best in slot. Mage Blood is obviously better. But a better option than this would actually be an abyss, an abyssal belt with abyss socket, so you can get more life, you can get resistances, you can get immunity to blood, all this sort of stuff, right? I'm using this specifically because I want to be immune to poison, and if I have this silver flask with used wind become poison, immune to poison just means that I'm never going to be poisoned, right? Dot is one of your biggest killers in this build, because we'll talk about that here in a little bit, right? This ring, minus strength is kind of bad, but 200 life is pretty huge. A little bit of resistances. I need a better ring. You know, I need a better ring. Let's see what else we got here. We have the Replica Witchfire. This gives us, when we set it to hit a rare or a unique enemy, grants level 21 vulnerability curse. This just means they're going to take more damage. Obviously. Quicksilver with crit chance. We got Diamond with Avoid Shocked, 53%. Now, the reason why I have Avoid Shocked is because, as you can tell here on the boots, Avoid Shocked. We are running Storm Shroud. That way we are ailment immune. We are poison immune. The only thing that we would then need is bleeding and corrupted blood immunity, right? Which on our boots here, we do have 35% chance to avoid bleeding. We are not bleed immune. We are only 95%. I'm just shy of it, but that's, so far it's been pretty fine. I've died a couple times to it, but it's not too bad. And then Overflowing Chalice just gives us more charges, just to make sure we always have charges. Let's go over the path tree just a little bit here. We are playing Scion. As you would imagine, life nodes. Life nodes, life nodes, life nodes, life nodes, life nodes, life nodes. We are taking all the masteries so that we get that 10% more maximum life. We will be going over grabbing this jewel slot so we can get more jewels, because we will be using a bunch of life ones. I do have a corrupted blood immunity one here. This cluster here is going to be physical damage. Ironbreaker is kind of the point for it. This is an okay, like, this is not a great cluster. It's not great. I'm not even gonna lie. Ironbreaker is what we have. More fizz damage. You can ignore fizzle resistances. The other one, I believe, is, was it Ironbreaker, and there's another physical one where 5% chance to do double damage. I don't remember what node that is, but that would be the ideal one to have with this one. So let's talk real quick about the jewels. So percent life is what you want. 7% is actually what you want, not 6%. It's just what I had, so I plugged it in here. But getting 7% maximum life on all the jewels, getting strength would be good, getting resistances would be good, crit multi is really good, and if you can get a corrupted one, like I said, I have corrupted blood on here, you can get all sorts of other things that you can get for these. So we are rocking at the moment, I believe, okay, we're rocking 3 different unique jewels. We got Storm Shroud, which gives us that chance to avoid shocked, applies to all ailments, which is why you see shock and everything is at 100%, right? We have a unnatural instinct in here, giving us everything that's in here. The only things that we're really caring about, area of effect, to make our blood sacrament larger. Skill effect duration is really good, because what we are rocking, we're only really rocking 3 skills technically, right? You get blood sacrament with these, you have petrified blood or pride, whichever one you want to do, and then in the gloves here, or the shield here, I actually have life tap linked with a flame dash. So the reason why we have life tap in here leveled up, and then in here we have a life tap that's not leveled up. When you gain life tap, what this does is it gives more damage, right? Supported skills deal 19% more damage while you have life tap. So with Blood Sacrament, you will never spend life. You're not spending life, you are reserving life. So as you can see up in the top, there is no life tap. But if we flame dash, we have life tap. So now we would actually be gaining the benefits of life tap in here. We just have to proc life tap. We don't have to proc it with a skill. We just have to proc it in general. So that skill effect duration makes life tap last longer. What I do need to do is actually get some quality into it, because quality gives longer duration, which I'm just lazy, haven't done it yet. But what will be put in here is a different jewel so that we can get some other things. We'll talk about that in a second. So here is the other big thing. Dissolution of the Flesh removes all energy shield. Life that would be lost by taking damage is instead reserved until you take no damage to life for 2 seconds. And then plus maximum life, 25%. I need a better one. But let's check this out in action, right? Let's go here. Show you what this skill does. So if you look, reserved. I'm not taking damage. I'm reserving my life. And then we walk away for 2 seconds. Boom. You immediately get it back. So let's just take a whole bunch of damage. You'll notice you don't want to take too much damage. The reason why this is kind of a killer is because if you take too much damage, you cannot use your skill. You have to be able to reserve at least 78% of life. And if you go, see, now I can't use my skill. The way you die with this build is if you reserve more than what your maximum life is, right? But you keep on reserving. And then, boom. So that's kind of how the build works. Let's go over kind of some things that I still need to upgrade. I need to put a jewel here. You guys didn't see that. See, it's a bad jewel. It's a bad jewel. Get a little bit more life. How much did we get out of that? What, 300 life? One jewel gives us 300 life. I feel like that's pretty good. 17,000 life is very, very low for this. 25, 30k, that's kind of the end goal here, right? Like I said, we got a lot of work here. So one thing we don't have very good of is our resistances aren't good. I need to fix my resistances, but for the most part, doing T16s, killing things, not really too much of a problem, but I do need to fix it, right? So Chaos Res, well, the thing that will help with that is the Light of Meaning, Prismatic Jewel, and you do passive Chaos Res. Passive skills and radius also grant percent resistance, right? Pretty expensive. This is the next thing that I actually want to get just so that I can, get closer to my Chaos Res. Where we put that is right here where the Storm Shroud is, because it'll give a radius here, and since Unnatural Instinct allocates all of the passive skills that are not allocated, so all of these are considered allocated. So if we put Light of Meaning here, we'll get Chaos Res for everything in here, right? So it'd be like, what, 4, 8, 10, 12. Like, we'll get probably like 30 or 40 Chaos Res just from that alone, which will be really, really nice. And then jewels-wise, getting everything better. These are just, they're not high rolled. I should get resistances on them. Jewels have a long, long, long way to go. A better cluster jewel. Again, it's Ironbreaker, and I suppose I should just look this up. Force something? Force multiplier? Force live search in something here. I have it in the build. Yeah, force multiplier. 5% chance to deal double damage, and 25% increase physical damage, which, I mean, 25% that's huge, especially for a build that's doing, who knows how much. So let's see, what else are we looking for items wise? getting an entropic with probably like crit chance on the gloves, has a corruption, a much better ring, more resistances, same amount of life would be kind of the ideal. Crit multi is really good on this. I don't have a corrupted wand. Um, again, getting quality on this. And then the biggest thing that we're slowly going to be working up towards is using this, the apostate. Gain maximum life instead of maximum energy shield from equipped armor items, right? So that's armor items, doesn't include jewel or like rings, right? So if we put ring on that has plus 50 energy shield, doesn't count. It is specifically for the armor. This could be pretty insane. This could give us a lot of life. This is where you get the 25k or more. In order to use this, though, we would need both the helmet and the boots to be extremely high energy shield bases. So right now, this is kind of the helmet I'm looking at. I don't know if this is even good enough to get me anywhere, right? The best one, I believe, is a Lich's helmet. It has the highest energy shield, but it has a huge int requirement. And then crafting new boots that are going to be as good as this one is going to be kind of, it's going to be kind of hard, right? I have 30% move speed. I have a little bit of resistances, good life. That's going to be tough, but that is the next thing, is getting extremely good helmet, extremely good boots with red sockets on a blue base. Is going to be a little bit painful, but we have fractured life just to kind of help with this. That way we can bump ourselves up to, you know, past 20k. I believe that is it. So let's just run through a quick little purifier. Everything's gonna be critting in here. It's gonna be a lot of damage. We'll see what we can do with it though, just so we can kind of show how the build works. Now, you just right click and walk forward. If you take any damage, be aware of how much damage you're taking. But you can just kind of, you know. So this is only 17k life, right? Like this is we're one-shotting everything 17k life. I'm not gonna be using June. I'm not gonna be doing all these mechanics because let's just get on to it, right? Except for these guys, because they're just gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. Where's their syndicate? I didn't notice. I didn't notice. The damage, even though 17k, like 17k, isn't a lot for a life stacker, right? In normal cases, this is a lot, but we aren't stacking any real defenses other than reserving life. So we take a full amount of damage technically. Yeah, we just chill past everything. Kind of talk about my farming strategy, I suppose. I have essences. Obviously, I have June. I have Betrayal for Gravicious. I finally set up the Gravicious board. It's not perfect. Like it's not perfect. It's not good. But it kind of works. But we'll talk about that once when we get through. Yo, Elder, brother, you gotta do this a little bit quicker. Come on, I got things to do. Damn. So let's see boss damage, right? You saw we just kind of ran through everything here. First thing you always want to do, you're going to want to flame dash so that you get the extra damage. This tooltip obviously isn't gonna help understand how much damage you're doing. And we'll just walk a nice little circle around everything. Try not to get hit. Flame dash for more damage. And we phased him. Pretty sure we already phased him again. Oh yeah, I'm Maven witnessing this. I forgot. And just like that, easy enough, right? This build has been a lot of fun. Get off of me. See, look, I can't use my skills. Nice. Let's grab it all. So like I said, amazing build. I've been having a lot of fun with it. the damage is really, really good, considering the fact that I don't have a lot of life. Hope you enjoyed. We've got plenty to do. Like I said, I need to make the apostate work. Better ring, better jewels. There's still a lot to work with, and I'm just kind of shredding everything. So hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, come back for more.